What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it already. Let's talk about this damn thing here. There's a couple of things that I want to mention, right? I do not expect that Bitcoin has found its low. I really hope I'm wrong. I really do. Because it's possible, it's very possible, that if Bitcoin goes lower, then XCN will also go lower. If Daddy Bitcoin goes down, the rest of the market tends to follow. Not all the time, not every coin. And you do have bullish divergence here, but let's be fair, right? That bullish divergence has basically already played out. We've gone right to where the divergence formed. We haven't really gone any further than that. We have about 3 hours left in this 4-hour candle, so who knows? We can go higher. And maybe what happens is, hold on, guys. Sorry. Maybe what goes on is XCN has a little pump today and Bitcoin moves up a little bit more today, something like that, or maybe it just doesn't move down today. And then when Bitcoin starts to drop and see its lower low, XCN will also drop and probably at a faster pace, but because it pumped at a faster pace, it'll form a higher low. Something like that could happen too. Just because Bitcoin sees lower lows does not mean that you have to see lower lows. It just depends on how you recover from here. But if XCN, if this is all we have, and Bitcoin starts to go down to those target areas of about 74,500, 72,500, even below that, if it does happen, you know, a drop like that from here would be something on the lines of about like a 10 to 11% drop. That would probably at least tit for tat mean that XCN goes down about 10% or more. I wouldn't be surprised in the least, you guys, if we did go below 1 cent. Again, I'm not calling for it. We've been here before. That's not what I'm calling for. I just wouldn't be surprised, and I certainly would not be shook if we took out 1 cent. I know a lot of people would be, and that actually adds to the very real possibility that we could go below 1 cent. Even if we do go below 1 cent, I wouldn't be surprised if we like wicked below 1 cent and then we came back up and we closed at this daily low close or above it, something like that. If we do close below it, whatever. I would be very surprised if we went below 0.00833. Surprised, but not shook. Okay, surprised, but not shook. I'm sure I'm not the only person who's aware of these target areas. I'm sure I'm not the only person who's quote unquote counting on them to hold, right? This area here to hold. And if it breaks, if we do go lower, oftentimes you can see fake outs happen, and it's in these fake out moments. We go to like 00791 here. People capitulate. They think it's all over. They sell the hell out of it. It goes down there very fast, and then it rips back up very fast. But a 35% drop while Bitcoin drops about 10%. Seems a bit intense, especially for a coin that has already dropped like over 75%, right? From a high to a low, it's dropped 78%, right? So I don't see that happening, but it's possible. We have to address the possibilities, and these possibilities below 0.00833 are only things that we've recently started to talk about. 0.00833 has been a possible low target that we have not strongly considered, but at least acknowledged for a while now, so it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Here we are at 1.2 cents. Daily RSI looking like it's bouncing out of the oversold zone. This is what we wanted to see. This is exactly what we wanted to see, my friends. If we can do this, likely that was either the low or we're very, very near the low, my friends. We might come down. We might close below this day here, form some slight bullish divergence, maybe accentuate this bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. Anything and everything is good, man. The more bullish divergence on more time frames is better than it is worse. And in time, we're going to go to the land of the promise, guys. The land of the rising sun will take us to the land of the sky-high clouds. I don't know, man. We have 11 cents, 12 cents targets at the minimum, right? It might even be higher than that now. Is it 13 cents? No, I think it is 12 cents. Let's see, from a high to a low. It is 13 cents. My bad. 13 cents is the minimum expected area. And then I would think, I shouldn't even say minimum expected area. Maybe we still stop at 10 cents. You know, the 1414, you could stop there. Wicking just through it is pretty common, and 10 cents is a nice psychological area of resistance, and that's kind of where this high is on the Coinbase chart. So maybe we stop at 10 cents. We should at least accept that and acknowledge that. Even 7.5 cents is a possibility, but it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, in my opinion, to stop there. It would make a lot more sense to stop anywhere from 13 cents to potentially 35 cents, but that's a bit high. That's getting out of hand. But if you do hit that area, you probably go a little bit above there anyways. Maybe 40 cents is on the table. I would most likely consider 23 cents to 19.5 cents as the target area that we achieve. I've been looking for this 1886 to 200 level as the target. That's been my kind of theory, my thesis for a while. As we go lower, this target area only increases. Of course, if we kept dropping, if we dropped all the way back down to these highs down here, I wouldn't think that we see a move that recovers all the way to 44 cents. We'd have to change our line of thinking. But as of right now, I'm okay with this area. I do think that makes a lot of sense, mainly because that would also take us right around our all-time high areas right here, just above them. A lot of cryptos have been doing this thing recently, this cycle, where once they break their all-time highs, they'll kind of hover right above and consolidate, and then they'll break out and go further, right? Something like that. At any rate, we're absolutely in a very bullish flag right now. This is called a bull flag pattern. That's absolutely what it is. Somebody asked me to find examples of a bull flag working out. I'll do that for you. Oh, and somebody else had a special request. I'll give you a shout out in just a second. I'm sorry, guys, but let's do some bull flag stuff. I forget what they're asking, but I'll read that off here in a second before we end the video. So bull flags, right? You're asking me to validate a bull flag. Well, to be fair, that could be a bull flag right there. This high up here and there, that could be a bull flag. If it is a bull flag, the move started here, ended here. You put it at the base of the flag and your measure move while you exceeded it. I don't know if that is a bull flag, to be completely fair. It's not the most perfect looking thing, but you know, here, this is a bear flag. Flagpole, flag coming down. It's just like a bull flag, but you can see the difference, right? If this is a bear flag, you would likely see a measure move down from the height of the pattern, not the low, because it's the bearish one, right? So from the height of the pattern, this is your measure move idea. And here, yet again, you did exceed it. Actually, at first, you fell just shy of it, but inevitably went through that level, okay? Yes, this is a bear flag as well, but it didn't actually... Did the measure move get met on here? Let's see. Was the measure move met? No, you didn't meet the measure move. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect science, right? But there are plenty of examples where this happens. This was looking like a bull flag, a very long bull flag, but it's not. That got invalidated as well. Here, this was a bull flag right here, high, and then you continued up, right? Let's see. Is there any more bear flags down here? This was a bull flag. I don't know if I would call that a bull flag, actually, to be completely fair. This was a bull flag, but it did not have a conventional bull flag breakout, right? Here's your flagpole. Here's your flag. When you broke out, you moved sideways, but eventually went up. I believe moments like that do hurt performance. So let's see if you hit your measure move. I doubt you do, because whenever you break out sideways, when you break out, you're supposed to erupt, not slowly move up. But let's just see from the low point there. Actually, you did exceed your measure move, and you still stopped right around it. Right, bull flags. It's something. And I don't know if that would be a bull flag or not. It's kind of weird if it were to be a bull flag, but there are plenty of examples where that happens. Okay, I want to read this request now that somebody had. Carl from the Moon wants to be my friend on Discord. I have a funny feeling about Carl, guys. He probably wants to help me trade. I just have to give him access to all my private keys, and he will help me make money. I've been waiting for this. Carl. Thank you. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know where these scammers get off. They probably get off in their room crying alone with tears because they have no money and they have to rip other people off. But no, it's not Carl from the Moon, just a scammer impersonating him. I don't think Carl's a scammer. I think he's not afraid to use his viewers as exit liquidity. I think he's not afraid to do that. I don't think he actually... But you know, that's for another time. That's a story for another time. But I don't think that he's a scammer. I just don't think that he. Whatever. Who cares what I think? What was it that this person asked of me? Let's see. I better have taken a picture. Okay, good. Yes, Zach Bedford. Zach Bedford. What's up, Zach? Thank you, my man, for the super chat, by the way. Zach Bedford's been a follower for a little bit now. I appreciate you, man. I remember I've seen your name a few times. Thanks. Any chance in a future XCN video that you could explain what we should expect to see after we hit our new high in April to May-ish, and what potentially to expect for the months leading to the bull run finale in October, November-ish? Say we go to 22 cents in April, will we go back to 8 to 9-ish cents and then boom in October? I'm confused about the in-between. Thanks, man. I appreciate the videos. That's good. That's actually a really good question. I'm glad I remember talking about that. Thank you for asking that question too, because we oftentimes do talk about the shorter term stuff, the immediate moves, and we don't look forward past that. I've only talked about what the potential is by the end of the cycle, not necessarily what I expect in the way that it'll move there. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Huh. But the reason for that is it's kind of hard. It's hard to really guess or assume how we're going to move until we see how this move resolves itself. So I'm going to guess, because we don't have resolution, I'm going to guess right here. Okay, this is how I see it happening just with the data that we have in front of us. Okay, 786 down to the 0.5. Nice. Good support. This is actually really good in itself. Okay, finding support at this prior area of support. It doesn't seem that significant on a monthly time frame, but it is. If we go on a weekly time frame or a daily time frame, you had a little shelf that you're finding support at now. When it comes time to moving higher, you likely don't stop at the 886. You likely don't. This is why I think you're going to go above 10 cents. The next target area would be your all-time highs at 18.2 cents. So I would assume likely by the end of April, maybe sometime in May, mid-May, beginning of May, if not earlier, we will be at our all-time high area or around there. If we find resistance here, and I expect that we do find resistance between about, let's say, 15 cents to 27 cents, 28 cents, something in this area, right? Maybe even as high as 30 cents. We likely would pull back, I think, down to about, anything from 9.3 cents to maybe even back down to 5.5 cents, something in that area there. And if we look, maybe if we look here, this can actually help us our prior history here. There is a nice shelf of resistance here on a closing basis, right? On these weekly closes. There's a little bit of support down here, not too significant, so it's kind of hard to say. It's a little bit obscure. And I think whenever we have this high, we will have a better understanding because we'll have fib supports too. But oftentimes when you find resistance around the 1272 or lower, you do pull back to your 886, 786 area, and sometimes even lower. I don't think that we would go below this high. I really don't. This is why I think that the 786 should be considered as our support area, maybe even this high. So something at about 5 to 6.3 cents is what I would look for. At the very least, we'd probably pull back to about 10 cents and find support there. Okay. And that consolidation phase might take about as much time as this one did. It likely takes less time. I'm assuming that this next consolidation phase will take less time than this one did, because as we progress through the cycle, things get crazier volatility to the downside and crazier moves up, and we tend to just kind of move up without consolidating for months at a time like we did here. This, again, even for this coin, let alone for the whole crypto space, consolidating for more than 3 months in a bull market, except for the halving period, which that always is about 3 to 5 months or more, consolidating for more than 3 months in a bull market is not common, guys. What we're seeing here, this long phase consolidation, it's not normal. This is definitely, something's going on that's a bit different. If people say this bull market's different, and then some people are like, no, it's not, it's doing the same thing it's ever done. Well, it technically is different. Go back and look, man. Consolidation phases don't normally last over 3 months in any bull market, unless it's that halving time consolidation, which we already had. We've already had our halving time, our pre-halving, post-halving consolidation phase, okay? Moving on from there, okay? We move up, we move down, we find support. Likely we would have then one more finale phase into the end of the year. I would assume something like this that does take us anywhere from 82 cents, very important to address that as a possible target, to prices that are around $1.80. It's very common, extremely common, my friends, to wick through the 1414. If we're at $1.80 on the 1414, $1.82, what's right through that? What could provide psychological resistance? $2 could be where we go. If OnyxCoin sets out to be everything that it can be and it sees some immaculate growth this cycle, absolutely, you guys. We could see prices that are at about $2 to $2.42. Once we get above that, we're starting to press prices that are around 80 billion and above. I have a hard time, especially for coins that are existing in their first bull market, it's a hard thing for me to call for anything that's over $80 billion. It happens. But again, it does happen, and you'd have to get above this line essentially to see an $80 billion market cap. It does, and I want to make sure that that's accurate. Hold on, let's see. Let's ask Grok. What would XCN's market cap be if the price went to $2.40? Consider emissions, please. As in newly minted coins added to circulation. Circulating supply. Circulating. I was like, I thought I spelled that right. Supply. Man, autocorrect has made me a bad speller, though. I'll notice that. You know, the most efficient way to text is probably to just say a couple letters and then let it autocorrect for you if you're actually texting. So let's see. Let's see here. What do you got to say, Grok? We just want the end of it. That's all I need, man. Step 3. Yes. I like whenever he explains his thoughts. I ask for that. That's why he does this. But in moments like this, I don't care. Approximately $80 billion. Yes, that's why I thought 240, because that's like the maximum. I've said 240 plenty of times, and I think that we could go there, but that's like the maximum. Now, is it possible we could go through that? Yes. But as we get closer to 240, as we get further away from it, it's becoming increasingly less likely. The most likely outcome is we do stop somewhere around $1.80 to $2, and I would expect that happens sometime in the end of this cycle around November. Genuinely, what I'm expecting is essentially this, right? We've moved up like this, we've consolidated, we probably move up again to our new all-time highs and then consolidate, and then we have one last hoorah up to our promised land up here. It's probably going to look kind of exactly like this. It looks ugly, but something more or less exactly like this. And maybe it's not a bull flag on the next one. Maybe we don't pull back like this. Maybe we come down, we come up, we see some kind of weird consolidation. You know, it can be very volatile. You never know. But the way that I would expect it essentially is we have one more move, and then we come down, and then one more move. And I might have had it right all along. Something that I didn't consider is that this could be an Elliott impulsive wave, where you have your wave 1 here. This is your wave 2. We're about to form wave 3, which wave 3 tends to be the biggest actually in impulse waves. And then wave 5 also has a chance of being the biggest as well. Wave 3 and wave 5 tend to be the biggest waves. So if this is an Elliott impulse wave, we've only got 2 waves down. We've got 3 waves to go. 2 of those waves are impulsive waves to the upside. 1 of those waves is a corrective phase. And that's exactly how I expect it to happen anyway. So just connected those dots there. If you're like, what the hell is Elliott wave, impulsive wave, if you don't remember me talking about it, or if you're a new subscriber and you didn't see those videos, look into it. Look up Elliott wave theory, impulsive waves, 5-wave count, impulsive. It's a motive wave, but it's an impulsive wave, I'm pretty sure. I'm not the most experted person in Elliott wave theory, but I know a little bit, right? Especially with fibs, you have to understand fibs if you're going to understand Elliott wave. But that's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you. Thank you, Zach. I wanted to say Eric. Zach Bedford, thank you very much, my friend. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.